Let's now go to advanced assessment of mental health disorders. Let's discuss mental status examination. The equipment needed are paper and a pencil, common objects such as watch, paperclip, and coin. Comprehensive mental status examination. The mental status examination includes assessment of appearance and behavior, cognitive abilities, emotional response, and speech and language. The assessment results may be obtained through direct questions and observations, and less obviously during other parts of obtaining the patient's history information. The mental status review includes several parts that reflect the ability of the person to interact with the environment. These components have also been called ego functions. The clinician should provide clear examples with any terms used to describe the patient to avoid the patient feeling labeled and stereotyped and to ensure that accurate and truthful responses are obtained. The assessment of cognitive function is an integral part of the MSE. Impairment of cognitive processes can be indicative of neurological disorders, organicity, developmental delays, or signs of mental illness. A large portion of the assessment of the patient's cognitive abilities can be accomplished through the history taking interview. For action, first, assess appearance and behavior. The information collected should be documented so clearly that someone who has not met the patient could easily identify him or her in a crowded room. Next is observe the patient for hygiene and clothing. The patient should display good hygiene and appropriate clothing. Patients with depression, dementia, and schizophrenia may display poor or lapsed hygiene. Patients with bipolar disorder may present with bizarre or inappropriate dress. Patients with dementia may also present with inappropriate dress. Next is note body size and stature of the patient. Patients with anorexia are often underweight. Anorexia may also cause growth arrest. Patients with bulimia may be slightly overweight, average weight, or slightly underweight. Dementia and depression may also cause weight loss. Next, inspect hair and skin tone. Skin tone should be even and consistent with ethnicity. Anxiety or panic disorder may present with flushing. Patients with anorexia may have a fine, downy hair on their extremities, trunk, and face. Next is note the patient's overall cooperativeness, hostility, or withdrawal behaviors. These all provide clues to mental health. Depression may cause a patient to be withdrawn. Schizophrenia, delirium, and dementia may cause a patient to be uncooperative or hostile. Second, evaluate sensorium, level of consciousness, which determines the patient's ability to participate in the interview. Levels of consciousness may be thought of in terms of orientation and responsiveness. Responsiveness reflects the activity of the subcortical reticular activation system, involving awareness of internal and external stimuli. Levels of consciousness may vary from alert, the normal finding, to coma. We see here the level of consciousness in tabulation. The alert, if there's alert, there's awake and spontaneous. If they're confused, there's decreased attention span and memory, or answers questions inappropriately. If there's lethargy, there's drowsy, falls asleep easily when aroused, and answers inappropriately. If there's delirium, there will be confused with disorder perception or decreased attention span and inappropriate reaction to stimuli. If there's stupor, uh, they would be slow to respond and can be aroused for a short period of time to visual, verbal, or painful stimuli. If there's coma, they would not be awake or alert, decerebrate, posturing to painful stimuli. Thank you for your attention.